I just saw your post and I hopped on spontaneously, even though I don't have a question, but maybe a very nice win, because after the session with Vicky last week, my coach in Australia, we had this thing about having more pleasure in my life. And I went for a walk in the park. And my sister came back from a holiday some days ago. And several times since then, I just met her and said, come on, let's go for a walk. And this is completely unheard of, because I'm so much, oh no, you can go for a walk. I'll just stay home. Oh, thank you. No, thank you. So this is really great. And I was in the woods and I saw these flowers and all the green things in the woods. And it just was so good for me. And I could really have fun by just going for a walk. And this is so big. This is a really big win. It's pleasure just for the fun of it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't help anyone except myself.
You.
It's not a big performance. It's not a big achievement. It's just going for a walk, breathing, taking in the light, taking in the colors. So, and this is enough. And that's so great. And it hasn't got anything to do with eating, but that's not important at all, because I'm not on this program really. Losing weight would be a nice thing to have. Losing perhaps 10 pounds, that would be nice, but this is not what I'm looking for. I like the way you always talk about being in your body. I'd like to be more in my body and just feeling calm and feeling good with myself. Being able to be with myself in a good way. So this, I'm really very, very grateful for what you're doing. It's really, really very, very helpful, and it's helpful for me, and I'm using it with my clients, and they're mostly quite happy with what I suggest, what I teach them, and I'm really very, very grateful.
Oh, thank you, Claudia. You're so sweet. I'm so glad that worked so well for you. So you've been doing the second chakra stuff with Vicky, right?
Yeah.
Because all the stuff that you're talking about is very second chakra stuff. And it's amazing when you drop into that area of your womb space, the second chakra. This is where the creation lies within women. And it's really incredible when you drop into that space, how you just stop and you notice the beauty in everything and the details, and you move a little bit slower and you have more love in your heart. And it's just, life is more delicious from this area. And I think it's so beautiful. The next program that I do will be all about this, like helping women really drop into that area and into their bodies firstly, and then into the second and first chakras, because life lived here for women. This is where we are meant to live. And if I look around at the women who I see who really live life and, feel good and who look good and who age gracefully and all of this stuff, they're in their second chakras. This is where their power center is, and they know it. Maybe because their mom was that way, or they learned it, or whatever. But a lot of us, we weren't taught this from our mothers. And so, this is work that I think is probably just starting to kind of bubble up to the surface now because of the power of the internet. This women being in their power has kind of been something that's been suppressed, that we haven't really known how to do for a long time. And, now because we have so much free information at our fingertips, people are just popping on and saying, hey, I know this secret, like, I want to share it with you. And we're learning about these things. And so I think that's just so powerful. And for anybody else that's on the call, if you feel inspired to do this work, I think, the suggestions that I was giving Lillian at the beginning of this call about doing some Kundalini breathing is a really, really good way to kind of drop into your body and also your second chakra. Kundalini yoga is based on the feminine tantric basically path. It's not about sex. Tantra, you say tantra and people think it's sex, but it can be sex. There's an aspect that's sex, but a lot of it is breathing, and it's just getting into your body. So Kundalini yoga is based on getting women into their second chakra, into their power centers. Men can use it too, but it was created for tantric women. So that's what it will help you do, is to drop into those centers. Was it emotional for you when you were kind of doing it?
This breathing, this chakra work with Vicky.
Yeah.
Mostly when we work together, often I have tears running, which is nice, which I find really nice. It was kind of calming. It was felt really good. It's kind of, I feel more centered in myself. And I have done the exercise of tapping, and I talk myself through I'm talking myself through it the way I would talk a client through it.
Yeah.
I just tell myself the light is coming, and it's coming into my head and going everywhere. The orange light, and it's going into the earth and to the center of the earth, and it gives me roots and all these things. I've done that every day, which I don't usually do, which I'm quite proud of that I was able to do it. It just feels good. It's kind of relaxing because I'm a person who's very tense. The muscles we have here, this exercise makes me let go a little bit more. And that's what I need. I need to let go.
Yeah.
Trust into my being safe nowadays. My being safe in being, and that it's okay to be in this feeling of power.
Yes.
From there. That comes from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I find that women either feel really good as soon as they drop into their bodies, like, oh, wow, this is what I've been missing. Thank God I can be here finally. Or if they have trauma or sexual abuse or anything like that, then there's a lot of emotions that will come up. That's great, Claudia. I'm so happy that you had that experience, and congrats for doing that every day. I know for me, it feels so good. It's like, I want to do it every day. It's one of those practices that it's like tapping for me. You know, tapping makes me feel so good. So I just like, I can't wait to do my tapping. When I was tapping all the time, which I don't really, well, I guess I tap every other day or something now. But yeah, this stuff is really, really powerful. It's so fun. Awesome. Thank you, Claudia, for sharing.